Good morning, Shujaul.
Good morning, Ramesh.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good, Shujaul. Okay, so dear senior leaders and CXOs, so I continue my series on CXO transitions. So this is all about my talking to top leaders about their career transitions and the challenges and the learnings which they have from those transitions, which would be of immense benefit to all the people listening on this show. So just to introduce my guest, Shujaul Rehman is the CEO of Garware Technical Fibres. Now, Garware Technical Fibres Limited is one of the top 20 wealth creators between 2010 to 20. It's also among the top 50 great places to work. And Shujaul himself is among the top 25 leaders in the country as judged by Great Places to Work.
Hi, everybody.
So many accomplishments to your
Thank
credit,
you,
Shujaul.
Thank you, Ramesh, for the introduction, warm introduction. Yeah, it's my privilege to be here.
And Shujaul is a MBA marketing from Aligarh Muslim University. And he's also done advanced management program from Harvard Business School. He's had about 4 or 5 transitions during his career. He started off with HCL HP and then moved to Apollo Tires as the branch manager. Then he had a longish stint with Marico, where he saw a few internal transitions. He was RSM, Regional Sales Manager South, and then moved to West, and then was elevated to National Sales Development Manager for Marico. And then he moved to Mondelez as Associate Vice President. And then he made an industry switch to the tire industry. Sorry, he came back to the tire industry when he joined CEAT as VP Sales, Commercial, and as the business head for the OEM business. And finally, he joined Garware Technical Fibres as the CEO. He's had a long and successful stint at Garware. So, Shujaul, we will focus on 3 to 4 of your key transitions, which could have great learning value for all of us. So the first thing, Shujaul, I want to talk about is you had a long stint at Marico. You were first in line jobs as RSM South and then RSM West, where you are heading hundreds of internal people and thousands of people belonging to the channel partners and so on. And then when you got elevated to National Sales Development Manager, from the hundreds of people whom you were managing, it became 4 or 5 regional sales development managers. They were reporting into you. And this is, of course, a staff job. It's a position of where one has to use influence and strategic mindset. So how did you, Shujaul, make this transition from how did you first decide that I will take up this national sales development role? And how did you make those mental adjustments which were necessary going from a line job to a staff job?
Thanks, Ramesh. So, yeah, I think in sales, as you would know, typically you get results within a week, maybe in a month or so. And, you get that kick of, having results in your visibility, and you see it on a day-to-day basis. When you go to the market, obviously you take some actions and results come immediately. In a staff role, obviously you move to in a way, a back-end part of the job. Okay? In fact, these people who are reporting to me, regional sales development managers, were all reporting to me on a dotted line basis. They were actually reporting to regional managers. So I had actually no team. I became individual contributor. And I wanted to go through that process because, finally, if you've done so much of line role, it's important to understand the concept of leading and lagging indicators. So I wanted to understand how a person operates when he has no reportees to report to, how things work in head office. I had not been, working in head office. As a part of this role, there were 3 things I was driving. One was this was about 20 years back. So modern trade was just coming into India those days, and there was a lot of companies setting up, but then obviously India was not evolved in terms of modern trade. So the terms of trade agreement, the processes for modern trade for Marico, with these big modern trade companies, and also driving the modern trade business. That was one part of my job, which was an enriching part. Second part was the rural expansion. So rural was, and it continues to be a big driver of growth for FMCG companies. How to understand how rural works, what kind of processes, policies you need to have, how do you drive expansion. That was the second part. And last but not the least, the sales IT part. those were the days when Marico was evolving and probably at the cutting edge of sales IT revolution in India. So understanding the sales IT drive and how to drive it, trying to understand field force automation those days. And I obviously, as I told you, many a times you will do things and you will not see any results, but then suddenly you will get out to see some result after a few months, which was quite a different thing from a perspective of a line salesperson who sees the results on a virtually weekly basis. It was a good learning experience for me. I got to learn one thing, which is about how to be perseverant in business. Finally, things you have to keep driving. Results will take some time. They may take more time than required, but you have to be at it, and how to be patient with things. I think these were things which I learned, and more importantly, how to be individual contributor, because these things helped me move forward. It in a way rounded me off as a professional.
So it appears that many line managers get their sense of identity from having all those people reporting into the person, and they get a sense of importance from that. But it's great to see that you transitioned to a staff role as an individual contributor and dealt with the feelings and emotions at that stage and established yourself. Great to hear that, Shujaul. And then I saw, Shujaul, that you made a switch from the FMCG industry. Of course, you had a background in tires, having worked with Apollo Tires. But then you moved, post your modular stint, you moved to tires when you joined CEAT Tires. So what kind of, obviously an industry change is a major transition for any professional. So what kind of, what was the thinking behind making the switch? And what kind of reorientation or adjustments did you have to make to be successful in CEAT?
So obviously the key reason for this move was to get vertical growth. I realized that I may not be able to get a national sales head role in FMCG companies, and tires was something which I had done in the past. So this opportunity came my way, and I, in a way, took a risk to go back to tire industry. Typically, people don't leave FMCG industry, but I moved out and moved to CEAT. There are 3-4 things which I had to adjust. One obviously is tire as an industry is very closely linked with economy. And 70% of the business is commercial tire, which is, let's say, you can say truck tire, LCV tire, or even maybe farm tire, but they're all linked to economy. So you have to understand how things are moving in economy, and you have to adjust your plans accordingly. That was one part which was a good understanding for me. Second part of understanding was that the channel in tires and channel in FMCG is totally different. FMCG works with a distributor concept, and in tires it's a dealer concept. And these are sometimes multi-brand dealers, so they may be dealing with 4 or 5 brands at one point of time. So how do you get your share of mind? How do you get your share of wallet from those channels? In terms of execution, that becomes a critical part of it. Third, and also important part is that while in FMCG you have an understanding of finance and economics of, and also profitability, in tires the profitability comes from passenger segment. So how to get the focus of the team in a way, 70% is commercial, in a way get more share of mind for team and field force to get profitability on their minds, in their mindset, and how to drive distribution using the FMCG way of working. So these are 3-4 things which I had to adjust. Another point which was important was the point of the growth drivers. The growth drivers in FMCG could be expansion, could also be overall segment creation, maybe marketing. Here it's more about sales driving the agenda. It's more about expansion, but doing it the right way, and trying to be able to understand the leading and lagging indicator in this business, leading and lagging indicator in the entire business. These are things, some adjustment I had to do after 11 years of FMCG. It was a little bit difficult, but I could manage it.
So wonderful to hear all these kind of details about your journey. Friends, this ends part 1 of my dialogue with Shujaul Rehman, CEO of Garware Technical Fibres Limited. So we will join you in a few days with the second part of this conversation.
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear viewers, if you found value in this video, support us by clicking the like button, share it with your colleagues, and press the bell icon to subscribe to my channel. I eagerly await your thoughts on this video in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.